Welcome to the Martin Bailey Photography Podcast. This is episode 358 and today I'm going to be walking you through the new Gura Gear Bataflae 32L camera bag. So many of you will know that for a number of years since its release I was using the Kiboko bag from Gura Gear. Excellent bag, very light and strong and holds a lot of stuff. This is basically, it's a tad heavier because of some of the different materials they're using now, like stronger zips, but it's also 2 litres bigger and they've made it deeper. A number of great new features have been added as well, so we're going to take a look at all of those at the same time as just looking at the bag in general. So the word Bataflae, apparently B-A-T-A-F-L-E, apparently means butterfly, and that's because it opens like a butterfly wing. You can see that in here I have a big lens, 300mm, 70-200 here, and I have a pouch here, one of the new etc. pouches with all of my batteries and things in. We'll be talking about those a little bit more later. These things, all of this etc. bags fit in the bag, and you can close the flaps here. You can see also that I have laid it out so that I put my camera bodies in. The second body is on the camera doing the video right now, usually goes in here. You can see that I take the camera and the lens apart when I put them in the bag. I do that for 2 reasons. The first one is that you can actually get more in the bag when you take them apart like that. But also, not just this, but any bag, if you take a fall and jolt the bag when you've got the camera attached to the lens, or the lens attached to the camera, you can actually rip the back of the lens off or rip the mount out of the camera. So I always suggest putting your stuff in separately like this. It's different if you're doing street photography, something where you actually maybe have to get the camera out of the bag really quickly. But if you're carrying it on your back and you could slip and fall, then consider taking it off. But you can see these dividers, they're slightly thinner than what you'll see in some camera bags, still very strong. Again though, thin to make it lighter, also so you can get more in, but they're still very strong and they will absorb plenty of bashing around, apart from, like I say, when you've got the camera on the lens. You don't want to be bashing the whole thing around too much. But yeah, the bag comes with lots of these dividers, probably, I don't know, almost 3 times more than I'm actually using in this configuration. So you could divide it up into very small compartments if you needed to. This is how I often use mine. I will switch it around a little bit every so often, but this is the main configuration. There are compartments in the back of the main flap, and there are compartments in the outer flap as well. I'll often use these to put things like spare batteries in. I'll have the remote switch and angle finder, things like that. You can also put things like the Gura Gear send you a, I'm not sure if this is standard, but they'll generally send you a lens cloth that comes in a plastic case. I love these. I got a couple with my original Kiboko bag, and I've been using them ever since. I do use the spuds, the ones that actually go inside a little pouch and they come out so that they keep themselves all self-contained. I like them as well, but these are totally secure. That once you've put your lens cloth back in the bag, it's totally going to be dust free until you get it back out again. So it's I like these Gura Gear lens cloths. The other thing though, one of the major changes is that the Bataflae now comes with a buckle on the top, and you can open the front flap fully. And this is huge to me. I love being able to do this. It generally, what it enables you to do is to just fully open it to load the bag much more easily. You can just drop everything in and then pull it back up and you're away. But also, there are times in the field when you want to just get at things much more easily. You could perhaps just open it up, lay it down, and just get at your stuff without having to open each flap. So I really welcome this new change. And to stop it from doing that, you literally just clip it back in again. One of the other areas, the zips are stronger now than they were in the original Kiboko, a little bit heavier weight. They're not fully weather sealed, but they're kind of water, like drip proof, I guess. So if you were to put water on here, it just beads up and foot runs off. It doesn't really penetrate the zip, the fastener itself. The other thing that I really like is the fact that it's got a rain cover built in. This is the same as the Kiboko, but it's just really nice. Generally, I will not cover the bag in light rain. Just a little bit of drizzle, I'll leave it as it is. It doesn't go through. But if it gets heavy, I'll take the rain cover out, and it's always there. You don't have to remember to take it with you because it's in its own little pouch here on the front. And I'm going to take you through now as well how to attach just make sure that's away, how to attach a tripod. So there's these straps on the side. You undo one side, and I've got a very large tripod, so it's going to stick way up above, but you basically just put one or two of the legs into the side pocket there and hook this around, and you're done, nice and secure. The bag does come with a coup strap or coup cord, and you could, if you wanted to make this totally secure, you could pull this around and hook it like that. That really sucks it into the side. But the main reason that they include this is because you can also, if you've got a strap here and a strap here, you can take the tripod and strap it in on the back, and then you use the coup cord to secure it to the bottom of the bag. Now, I'm probably not going to do that with a tripod this big because it does pull down. The weight of the tripod pulls down, and I think for a tripod this big, I'm not going to do that. If you have a smaller tripod, it may well be a good alternative way to secure it to the bag. I note as well that because I do carry such a large tripod on the side, to help balance it, I always put the two big lenses on this side, because they actually weigh less than all of the stuff that I have in the other side. So it still balances out pretty well. I'm going to take this back off for now so that I can show you a few other things. There, of course, the carrying handles, there's one on the top and there's one on the side. I always like the way they have the carrying handle on the side at a diagonal, because you're ergonomically, you actually want to hold this diagonally. So that's a really nice feature there. But it helps when you're putting them into the overhead compartments on planes, or just carrying them around into the car, things like that. But also, of course, the back here, although I've got it all stowed away at the moment, when you open the back flaps, it turns into a rucksack, and that is really the main way that I carry the bag around. So I'm going to show you how we put this together. You have to just pull all of the components out either side, and here we go. Once these are out, the buckles also are stowed into these little compartments at the four corners. Stick that one in there, and same for this side. Then on the end of the shoulder straps we have a larger buckle which is going to go into the top here, and then on the waist belt it goes into the smaller one. And the waist belt is actually removable now as well. I usually leave it on, but if you were really struggling to get the weight down and you could not use the waist belt for, especially if you're not going to be carrying around for a lot of time and a lot of weight, then you could use that, take the belt out to reduce the weight a little bit. And also it does sometimes get in the way if you don't need that waist belt. But then once you've got all of that attached, you just swing it over onto the back, do up the waist belt, and the other thing that I really like, it's a small but nice incremental feature here, upgrade, is that the chest strap is lower down. It used to be quite high on the Kiboko, and it's adjustable, but by default it's quite low now. The Kiboko, you couldn't really get it down, and it used to choke me a little bit. So I really like the fact that the chest strap is much lower down on the shoulder straps now. But great bag. You can see it's a reasonable size. If you've got a lot of gear that you need to stow and you need to carry around with you, I couldn't recommend it more, but they do smaller versions. There's the 18, the 26 and the 32 litre versions. A few other things that they've added to the system, and you can now get a Gura Gear stainless steel water bottle, and the pocket on the side here is perfect for putting that in. There, as I say, there are now there's a whole series of etc. pouches and cases. These are brilliant for, you can store, I've got my batteries in this one. We have, for example, this one, I think this is the 2 litre, I'm not sure. Battery chargers and things in here, my little SLR first aid kit. I have another one here with my Letterman, my GPS and a flashlight. And the piece de resistance is, I'm going to be covering this more in the coming weeks, but I've just picked up a GoPro Hero 3 and I've got another one on the way. Hopefully it's going to be here before I leave for the Snow Monkeys and Hokkaido tours, because we're going to have a lot of fun with this stuff and I'm looking forward to sharing the footage with you as well. But the etc. bag here, this is the 3 litre, perfect for fitting stuff like this in. I've got all of the naked bodies, I've got the naked frames, sorry. I've got the naked bodies. I've got the backs, I've got spare batteries, I've got all of the brackets and things that I'll use with this. I've got the little extendable arm that I use for sticking this in people's faces. And I have one of the Gura Gear's new memory wallets. This is for the moment, what I'm doing is, because the micro SDs are so tiny, I'm leaving them in the adapters in the bag for now so that they don't get lost. Got CF cards as well, of course, and these cases also come with little loops at the side, so you can hook things like these the GoPro remote controls in there. All just very well thought out, and I love gear that's well thought out. Another pouch that I've got in here, of course these are my GoPro stickers that came with the camera, so I've kind of remarketed these already, but another pouch here for all of the USB cables that you use for transferring data and for recharging the batteries on the GoPros, and these all just really slot in nicely. And as I said, if you want to, you can actually put these into the bag, into the Gura Gear Bataflae bag. So, and the front obviously will close with them in there. So if you haven't got a lot of gear that you need to put directly in here, you could put all of this in and you'd be away. So really, it's an excellent piece of gear. I'm very, very happy to be using the new Bataflae. And I've recommended the Kiboko to many people and they've all been happy. The Bataflae, I'm already noticing people that have bought this on my recommendation and they all seem very, very happy. So I couldn't be happier to recommend a product like this to you as well. You can buy them from guragear.com, or you can also go to our friends at outdoorphotogear.com. And you know that code that I gave you a few months ago when I was at Outdoor Photo Gear, MBP10? They never disabled it. So you can actually still get 10% off anything that you buy at Outdoor Photo Gear with the code MBP10. So that's it. I'll put links and everything that I've spoken about in the show notes at mbp.ac/358. and I'll see you online at martinbaileyphotography.com. See you there. Bye bye.